What is going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and welcome back to the PPL videos. This is going to be the team builder for week 5 against Liam, aka Unlawful Exile, and the West Shan United. Now, if you remember back to last season, he 5-0'd me, and not my proudest moment. I really expected play with Vaporeon, and when the play didn't go as I expected, I kind of just sort of said, well, I lost my win count, I don't give a shit anymore, and I gave up on the game. But I assure you, that's not how this week is going to be. I have a pretty good plan for him this week. Pretty good, I'm going to say. But I think Liam has the best matchup against my team out of everybody in the entire PPL, D1 and D2, in my opinion. I think he has a fantastic team matchup. So because of that, I did a lot of prep for this game. I did a lot of calcing. I did a lot of practice games. I did a lot for this game. I needed to make sure I won this because having 2 wins is not something that I want to have. I want to have 4 wins, 1 loss. I want to be way higher than a lot of people are in the league, and that's exactly what I'm striving to do. So, with that being said, as you can tell by my voice, I'm extremely tired, and I think I'm actually getting sick because I've been outside and I've been working so much this week, so yay. But, yeah. So let's go over his team real quick. He has Infernape, Scolipede, Whimsicott, Blastoise, Licky, Kyurem, Magnezone, Uxie, Golem, Mega Aerodactyl, and Krokorok. Now last week, he swept someone with Golem. So people that look at my team and they see a rain team and they're like, well, Golem's off the table. No, you're fucking wrong. It's not. It's Liam. He's capable of bringing anything. However, I think Golem is the most thing that I think is like the one thing that I think should not come along with Krokorok. But everything else is on the table and makes me poop myself. That is scary. 9 mons that I have to prep for. Normally in League Format you can say, okay, well these things don't really match up too well. I can like half-ass prep for them and I'm good and covered. Like, for example, if you have something like an Infernape and you're going up against a Miltank, all you have to do is throw close combat on there. Bam, prepped for. You're good to go. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, so now I have Infernapes with 3 other moves, items, and everything else. What do I want to do to counter to like check everything else? With this, I can't do that with anything. I can't say, okay, Kingdra with Draco Meteor, Ice Beam, Flash Cannon, and something else just handles everything on his team, because it doesn't. No matter what I do, he's going to have at least one thing that can switch into it and threaten me out every single time, and that's terrifying. The one good thing about his team is that his bulk has no reliable recovery. What I mean by that is that he ran a very bulky Whimsicott last week, and that had Leech Seed. So aside from Leech Seed, it doesn't really have much else. I think it gets Synthesis, but aside from that, it doesn't really do much else. Licky has Wish, which I think is very good recovery, but I don't think it's very reliable because it's reliant on you staying in, you relying on living 2 hits, and a bunch of other factors that might not come into play, or you run Protect. And Uxie, of course, has no reliable recovery aside from leftovers. However, he does have things like Infernape, which can be bulky and run Slack Off to counter certain things. He does have things like Rain Dish on his Blastoise that's very threatening for my team. He has things like Sub-Roost Kyurem, which are very threatening for my team. He has a lot of things that do get recovery that are also very threatening. But his offensive threats are the things that just destroy me. For example, Infernape. I have absolutely nothing for her. I can't switch into it. I cannot do it. I have to bring extremely specific sets to try to beat it, but even then I think just checking it offensively is better this game. Scolipede. I have a decent check to it in Mega Scizor. However, if he wants to be Swords Dance and have Earthquake with Swords Dance, then he destroys me. Whimsicott. Offensive Whimsicott is very scary for my team because my Spadef walls this week, A, Magnezone shits all over their life, B, Kyurem Black shits all over their life, and C, Scolipede shits all over their life. So none of those things can come just for a Whimsicott, so I have to try to check that offensively as well. Blastoise is extremely fat, as I said, especially with Rain Dish and leftovers. It's going to take a lot to KO it. Kyurem Black. Well, I'm going to skip over Licky for a second because I definitely think Licky is coming with Cloud9 and Fire Blast just so he can kill my Mega Scizor no matter what in the rain. I definitely think that's the thing. Kyurem Black Kieran Black is something that I have probably the best check to in Mega Scizor. However, Mega Scizor is easily trapped by Magnezone. So that means every single time I come in, if he has rocks up, I have to take rocks and I have to click U-turn. Every single time, no matter what is in front of me. Because otherwise, if I click Bullet Punch, he goes into his Magnezone, traps me, and kills me with Hidden Power Fire. Every single time, no matter what. And that's something that I could lose my one check to Kieran Black that I have on my team. Uxie is extremely fat. Magnezone is also really threatening too because I have a rain team, but it's very slow. It wants to be able to outspeed my speedy mons like Tornadus. It has to be scarfed max speed because otherwise without max speed it does not outspeed Raikou. So I kind of sort of know what set that's going to be, and I definitely think Magnezone is coming. Uxie is a mon that I don't think is coming. However, after watching Liam play against Paul and everybody else, I definitely think it is coming. He's very comfortable with it. He said in one of his games that Uxie is just an absolute lord and he loves it. Whenever you have a mon that you love and you can reliably use, it's kind of like a crutch for you. Kind of like how Miltank is for me. Miltank is my crutch. It's bulky, gets up rocks for me every single time, can paralyze things. It's a great crutch for me, and that's kind of what Uxie is for Liam. Golem, again, I don't think it's coming. Don't think it's coming whatsoever. However, Liam is also very comfortable with it. So, that's that. Mega Arrow, I don't think it's coming to this game just because it's not really spooky enough. I have good enough checks in the rain. I have a lot of things that can outspeed it. I have a lot of things that can OHKO it. I have a lot of things that can tank a hit and kill it. And yeah, and Krokorok is Krokorok, so not really threatened about that thing. But if I had to guess this team, I would say it's going to be Infernape, Scolipede, Whimsicott, Blastoise, Licky, and then either Magnezone or Kieran B. One of those. I think I listed off 6. Infernape, Scolipede, Blastoise, Licky, Kieran B. Either Magnezone or Uxie. I think that's a pretty good guess. But let's go ahead and talk about the team that I decided to bring, because I am bringing a very specific team that I spent a lot of time on, and I'm extremely proud of this team. First things first, I'm the realist JK. First things first, let's go ahead and talk about Old Man Tops, the Kabutops. I'm bringing a Life Orb set. I originally had this thing as a Choppleberry because Infernape with Mach Punch would be able to outspeed me, and it does a lot of damage to me, so I really wanted to be careful of that. However, I ended up changing a couple things around, and I ended up trying to deal with it more offensively, and I was like, you know what, Life Orb is good enough. If I'm in the rain, Aqua Jet will outspeed it, and after rocks it kills anyway, so Aqua Jet it is. Aqua Jet, Stone Edge, Low Kick, and Waterfall. Low Kick is a guaranteed to a KO on Licky, no matter what, unless it's Choppleberry, which I think if he's going to bring anything, he's going to be bringing leftovers. If I don't see leftovers, I'm going to be freaking out because I don't know what other item it would be, so I'm pretty freaked out about that. But Stone Edge is extremely good this game as well because it hits his team very hard. 2 Blastoise, it does about 43% if he's physically defensive. So that means if he wants to switch it on rocks twice, that means that Stone Edge can kill him. Aside from Rain Dish and Leftovers recovery, he has to not be able to run Rain Dish. Now, for the longest time, I thought that Rain Dish was not compatible with Mirror Coat because I thought it was a 3rd gen move tutor. Turns out, it's an egg move, so fuck me, right? But it just really sucks. So I'm having to rely on this thing. This thing is going to be my late game cleaner or my wall breaker, depending on what his walls are. Because if he brings walls such as, oh nope, wrong thing that I just clicked open on. Nope, that's the wrong thing. I don't want that open. Please, thank you very kindly. If he brings like Uxie and Licky as his wall core instead of Blastoise, I can click Waterfall a whole lot easier and it'll do a lot of damage to him in the rain with Life Orb, so that's really awesome. But I need these 4 moves specifically. I wanted to run Swords Dance so freaking badly, but I need these moves. Now the problem with this is, all he has to do is get like 2 speed boost passes into Kieran B, and then he outspeeds me, no-kills me with Fusion Bolt. So the second that he starts, that he has Scolipede in, I have to go into my designated check to it and not give him the opportunity to baton pass speed into Kieran B. Otherwise, I legitimately just lose. Like if he gets 2 speed boost passes into Kieran B and he's Berry, I lose. That's just the way, that is just how the cookie crumbles, and I fully 110% believe that is going to be his game plan going into this. If he can baton pass speed into Kieran Black, I legitimately lose. It happened in my practice games. I didn't go directly into my check. My opponent went for Swords Dance, went for Protect, whatever it was, they Baton Pass, and they just swept me straight up with Kieran B. So, because of that, I have to make sure I don't let Scolipede set up. This is another insurance policy in case Scolipede is an offensive threat itself. I want to be able to Aqua Jet it to get off a really good amount of damage on it in the rain, or just outside of the rain in general. This thing is just a massive late game cleaner against this team, and I really like it. So, remember how I said I need to go into my designated check every single time? Well, my designated check to that is actually going to be my Politoed. I'm running 20 speed EVs just so I can outspeed things that are speed creeping uninvested Politoed, and 20 speed EVs is a pretty cool number. I really like it, but max defense with a bold nature, 236 in HP, and with the moves Scald, Toxic, Ice Beam, and Encore. So, why is this my designated check to something like a Scolipede? Well, if he brings a Scolipede in against something like Kabutops in the rain or anything like that, and he has like a Charty Berry or something of that nature, knows he can live a hit and he can get off a Swords Dance and then a Protect and outspeed my entire team and sweep me. In order to prevent that, what I plan on doing is going to my Politoed. I can Encore it right away. I can click Scald, I can click Toxic on whatever wants to switch in, and I can click Ice Beam to wear things down. But this is going to be my designated check to ensure that he is not able to do that. What this also does is this also shuts down that stupid Whimsicott set that he brought before. Well, it doesn't shut it down completely, because if he has Giga Drain instead of as his offensive move, it doesn't quite shut it down. But if he goes for like Sub, Leech Seed, anything like that, I can Encore into that, I can go into something else, and I can Destructificate all over its face. And that's my hope for that. This also is able to stop Curse Licky Licky. That is the big thing. I want to be able to Encore it, Toxic it. I will Toxic Stall that thing. No shits will be given whatsoever. This also is able to Encore Uxie into something like Stealth Rocks or Thunder Wave or anything like that, so I can also wear that down with Toxic. So this thing is mainly there for his wall core. Really deals with it pretty well. This also helps out with things like Miracle Blastoise. If I want to Encore him into Miracle, I can go into my Kabutops, I can click 2 Stone Edges and hopefully kill him. So this thing, Encore has a massive utility role this game, and I think it'll really come in handy, and I think it's going to be probably a lot more clutch than what I'm expecting it to be right now, honestly. But pardon me, my throat is absolutely killing me for some reason. Anyway, the next mod on the team is going to be probably the biggest win condition of anything on the team, even aside from Politoed and Kabutops. This thing is my win condition. I'm running a Mega Scizor with Technician, obviously, Scissorite, blah, 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 blah. 16 HP, 44 in attack, Adamant, 252 defense, 196 in speed. This very specially defensive, mixed defensive Mega Scizor, it guarantees that I can take hits from Magnezone in the rain. I can take hits the best from Kyurem Black no matter what. I can still take hits from things like Infernape, like close combats. I can still take on the Whimsicott pretty well. Even if it has Hidden Power Fire in the rain, I can deal with it. This is also my best way of dealing with Scolipede. Reason being, if he thinks that the only way I can kill this thing is with Bullet Punch and he can get up a free Swords Dance and Baton Pass out on me, I very least I can one-shot it. It'll be wham bam, thank you ma'am, have a good day, and then I'll be able to get it out of the way, and that'll be amazing. I also have U-turn there just because, as I said before, Magnezone is his only way of killing this, his only way of trapping this and ensuring that I don't have a way of beating Kyurem Black. So every single time I have this thing in before Magnezone goes down, I have to click U-turn. That's something I've come to accept and I realize, but it is what it is. Also, I mentioned before that I think that Kyurem Black is going to be Babiri Berry. So my plan for that is to actually click Superpower first against it, just because once I click Superpower, it's actually in Babiri Berry Bullet Punch range even after the -1 drop after Stealth Rocks. So if I'm able to do that and I can get off a really big hit on it, that'll be amazing for my entire life and I'll be extremely happy. But if I click Bullet Punch once, he clicks in Power Fire, I can live it. The next Bullet Punch actually is a roll to kill him, and I won't be able to outspeed him either, so he'll be able to kill me, but Superpower plus Bullet Punch is a guaranteed kill. So that's why that's there. But again, this thing is there mainly to take a lot of hits from his team, along with get some really good revenge kills with Bullet Punch. I love Mega Scizor. I'm absolutely adoring using it this season. I don't think I could have picked a better Mega for this team. The next mod on the team is actually going to be my mixed defensive Miltank. I'm bringing pretty much the exact same move spread. Stealth Rock, Miltank, Body Slam, Earthquake. I brought that, I think, every single week, which is kind of sort of weird. But I'm bringing mixed defensive with Sap Sipper this week. Reason being, I fucking hated what he did to Paul. with that Whimsicott. Like, I hated it. If that happened to me, I would have quit. Like, I would have forfeited halfway through the game once I realized that I couldn't kill Whimsicott and break its sub. So I wanted to have a way to stop it, guaranteed 110%. So if he wants to be the Leech Seed sub Whimsicott, I'm bringing Miltank so I can guarantee soak up the Leech Seed, get Sap Sipper, Body Slam, and break the sub. I wanted to be able to do a lot of stuff. That's why I had that Spadef investment. Moonblast is not a 3-hit KO on me unless he is Life Orb. If he is Life Orb, that means he's out the stupid subset. That means I can deal with it a lot easier, and I can deal with it very offensively. The Choppleberry with 156 in defense with an impish nature, that is also extremely specific. That guarantees that a close combat does less than 75% to this Miltank spread, and after the defense drop, the Body Slam does 82%. So it is a roll after rock. Well, it's not a roll, but after rocks plus Life Orb, it's a guaranteed kill. But after just stealth rocks, it is a roll to kill him. Plus, with the parry and everything like that, it comes in extremely handy. But this thing's main role is going to be get up rocks, Body Slam a couple things, and also ensure that rocks stay up. Since Blastoise is definitely coming to the game, it's going to be extremely annoying for me to try to keep up rocks, so I can guarantee that Kyurem takes that 75%, that 25%, that Scolipede takes 25%, and that everything else takes that little tiny chip damage. That Golem Sturdy is broken even, that Mega Arrow takes the 25%. It's going to be extremely important to have rocks up on the field this game, so I need to make sure that I'm able to get them up and keep them up. Miltank is my way of doing that. I love you, Miltank. So, this checks Infernape, Uxie, and that's it. That's how hard it is. And it doesn't even check Uxie. It doesn't check anything. It checks Whimsicott if it's that disgusting set that he brought against Paul last week. So I'm not able to prep for everything with just a couple mons, and it's so depressing, but that just goes to show this thing was the best that I could do for what I was given. So, well, what I got myself. Anyway, I love this spread. I love Miltank. My favorite mon in League format right now is Miltank. It is such a bargain mon, it's not even funny. Let's go ahead and move on to the next mon, and that is going to be actually my Raikou with Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, and Hidden Power Ground, max speed, Timid Nature, 248 in special attack, 8 in Spadef. I know 248 is not a good number. However, since I have Hidden Power Ground, it does work because the way the IVs work out, it's 30 in special. I think it's 30 in 1 in attack, 30 in special attack, and 30 in special defense, right? Oh, I'm so good at this game. So good at this game. Anyway. So, because of his Scarf Magnezone, if he wants, I know Scarf Magnezone is coming. I absolutely 110% know Magnezone is coming. I also know it's going to be his lead. Like, I know for a fact. Every single thing that I've thought of in my brain comes from leading with Scarf Magnezone. There's no other scenario that I can see. So, my hope is that he won't bring max speed Magnezone, and I'll be able to outspeed it turn 1, get off a Hidden Power Ground, do 94% minimum, or I think it's 94% mid, is like the about. And I'll be able to kill him with rocks and a little bit of chip damage after that. So, that's what that's there for. Volt Switch is also extremely important in this game because his 2 ground types are Golem and Krokorok. As I said, I think those are the 2 most least likely things to come, so I can Volt Switch freely against his team. That is amazing. Thunderbolt and Shadow Ball also do a lot of damage to his team. I'm also wearing the Assault Vest. Reason being, this takes on a lot of his team. This really checks the Blastoise. It really checks the Kyurem B if it's not boosted or scarfed. It really checks the Scolipede before it gets a speed boost. It checks it for anything that's not scarfed. It checks a lot of things that can outspeed him and do a hell of a lot of damage to him. So, because of that, I wanted to make sure that this thing can also check something defensively. And what that is that is offensive Whimsicott. That Life Orb Whimsicott set that I said that Miltank can't handle, Raikou can't handle it. It'll do about 35% with Shadow Ball. After that, you can kill with a Bullet Punch from my Mega Scizor set. That is including with a Babiri Berry. So no matter what, after 1 Shadow Ball, I'll be able to take out that Whimsicott. After Stealth Rocks, of course, but still. You guys get what I'm saying. This Raikou is there mainly just to be a very offensive owl for his team and to get me a little bit of momentum into things like my Mega Scizor, my Politoed, my Kabutops, and things of that nature. And the last mon on the team, which is an awesome segue into the final mon, which is in fact my Tornadus Therian. I'm bringing another Life Orb set. except I'm bringing U-Turn, Superpower, Air Slash, Grass Knot. Now, this thing fucks his team up. Absolutely destructificates all over it. Like, it just all over it. It destructificates all over his team. Air Slash Infernape, Air Slash Scolipede, Air Slash Whimsicott, Grass Knot Blastoise, Superpower Licky Licky, Superpower QMB, Superpower Magnezone, U-Turn on Uxie, Grass Knot on Golem, Grass Knot on Krokorok. 10 of his Mons can hit super effectively with the Life Orb. It is extremely out against his team. I'm running 220 in speed. That is enough to outspeed. I feel like it's Adamant Mega Arrow. Adamant Mega Arrow. That's what it was. It was Adamant Mega Arrow, which is good because he can run Adamant against my team. The only thing that can outspeed it is this Tornadus set, but that's just me thinking. Anyway, this thing is there to be to gain me some momentum. When I look at his team matchup and I see what I know I'm going to see, which is going to be Infernape, Scolipede, Whimsicott, Blastoise, QMB, and Magnezone, those 6 Mons, when I see that, I have to play it very offensively with Volt Turn. I have to get off good chip damage, I have to get up rocks, I have to play it very offensively until things are in the range of Kabutops. So, because of that, I had to bring this Mon. This is also a way for me to superpower it with my Tornadus, and that means that 2 bullet punches from Mega Scizor will guarantee kill the QMB even with the Babiri Berry, and that's extremely important. Superpower is also there for Licky Licky. It can do a lot of damage to it no matter what. It's also there for the Magnezone, outspeed Scarf Magnezone, so if he wants to, like, say the exact same scenario happened that I said before, with Hidden Power grounding the Magnezone, he's in range, I can just click Superpower against it, and then I don't have to worry about hitting it with like a Grass Knot and killing, or missing an Air Slash, or going for U-Turn and him gaining the momentum. I can click Superpower, I'm a timid nature, I don't give a shit about my physical attack anyway, and then I can just go from there. I did not need to put anything into my physical attack to be able to do a lot of damage with Superpower to things like Licky Licky, QMB, and Magnezone, which is meaning what it's there for. But that is the Tornadus. I love Tornadus so much. Tornadus, Mega Scizor, Miltank are performing so much better than I thought they would when I drafted them. I absolutely love those 3 together, but I digress. That is going to be the team I'm bringing this week. It was a very extensive team builder. I did a lot of prep this week. I did a lot that I wanted to share with you guys. So I wanted to make sure that I got everything across, and I made sure that you guys knew exactly what I wanted to say. So with all that being said, guys, thank you guys so very much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like down below. Also, go and check out Liam's channel. He's an absolutely fantastic dude. If you're subbed to me and not to him, I don't know what you're doing with your life. So I strongly urge you all to go check him out. But with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.